All right, so I'm going to give you this template that you are going to use to start generating the values for tangent. Okay, so we've been graphing cosine using the unit circle. We also graphed sine, right, using the unit circle. But what about tangent, right? What about tangent? So um, notice that this template here has several columns. Okay, the first column, this one here, this one here is the angle in degrees of our unit circle. So if you look here, um, it's 0 degrees, so that's 0 degrees, and then 30 degrees here, and then 30 degrees here, and then 45 degrees, 45 degrees, and then all the way down to 360. So we're going all the way around till back to 360. Okay, in this column, this one right here, this column, same thing as our first column, but the angle is in radians. So 0, pi over 6, that's pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 4, and again, all the way down, so we go around the circle to 2 pi. Okay? Now, in this column, where it says x-coordinate, remember that this is also the cosine value at the angle, either in degrees or radians. So for example, the cosine at 0 degrees or the cosine at 0 radians, right? Either of these. The cosine of 0 degrees or 0 radians, what's the value? 1. It's 1. And that is the same as the x-coordinate, okay? And then reminder, the y component or the y coordinate at this angle, again, either in degrees or in radians, is the sine value. So what's the sine of 0? 0, right here. It shows you right here. It's 0. Okay? Notice that I also went ahead and did it for 0 and 1, right? For 90 degrees or pi over 2. So at 90 degrees, pi over 2, it's right here. Look, 0, comma 1. Okay? Here, 0, comma 1, x coordinate, y coordinate, cosine, sine, 0, comma 1. It's already there. Okay? Now, you might be wondering, what is this column here? This column is already generated by dividing the sine, just like you see here on the heading, the sine value divided by the cosine value. So for example, for this one here, what's 0 divided by 1? 0 divided by 1 is 0. And that's how I got this value. Okay? Now, you might be thinking, how come I don't have a value here? What's going on here? And the reason why this is not working is because here you have 1 divided by 0. 1 divided by 0 is undefined. So here I'm going to say undefined. Okay? Same thing here. Negative 1 divided by 0 is undefined. So I'm going to put undefined. Okay? 0 divided by negative 1, that's 0. And if you don't believe me, try it in your calculator. So let's go here. 0 divided by negative 1, enter. Look, you get 0. But just like I said, try doing 1 divided by 0. So let me clear all. 1 divided by 0. It says right there, look, undefined. Okay? All right. Now, I've already completed these values. It's going to be your turn to do the values for the x-coordinate, the y-coordinate, and then let's see what happens for sine. For 30, for 45, for 60, for 120, for 135, etc., etc. I want you to fill this out. That's going to be the step that you are going to do on this one, okay? To make it easier for you and make sure that you understand, the last thing I'm going to do is show you how to do it, and we will do it for 30 degrees or pi over 6 radians together, okay? All right, so here we go. For the x-coordinate, or again, cosine of 30 degrees or cosine of pi over 6, igual, right? That's the same thing. So what's cosine of 30 degrees, or what's cosine of pi over 6? Well, remember, it's the x-coordinate. So it's radical 3 over 2. You're not going to put square root of 3 over 2. No, I don't want you to do that. This is what I want you to do. You're going to go to Desmos, the scientific calculator, and you're going to say square root of 3, right? And then let's get out of the radical by moving to the right. And then over 2. This is where you are going to put your value, square root of 3 over 2. Okay? And then this value here, you're going to actually highlight it all the way to all the digits. So let me do the same. Highlight it. You're going to right click and click copy. Go back to our template and you're going to go right click and you're going to put paste. See that? This is radical 3 over 2 to this many digits. Okay? Now let's do it for the y-coordinate, or sine of 30 degrees, or again, sine of pi over 6. So what's the sine of pi over 6? Well, it's 1/2. So this one, you don't have to go, let me do 1/2, 1 over 2. You should know already that 1/2 is what value as a decimal? 0.5. Okay, so for y-coordinate, 30 degrees, or sine of 30 or sine of pi over 6, you're going to say 1/2 is 0.5. Enter. And then look at that. It gave you the sine divided by the cosine value. This is it right here. Okay? And if you remember from step 1, sine over cosine is the same as tangent. So this is tangent. Okay? Let me just make that bold. There you go. So this is actually the tangent value at the angle here in degrees or radians. Okay? All right. So I want you to start putting in the values for cosine of 45, sine of 45, or if you want to use pi over 4. And let's start generating all of the values here. This is what I want to have you create. Create a table of values for the sine over cosine at these values for the angle in degrees or in radians. It's up to you, however you want to think about it. Okay? That's what you're doing in this step. All right. Let me know if you need any help. I'll be walking around the classroom supporting those who still need help. Okay?